Hello, I'm Richard K4KRW. I'm building a software controlled radio and I've been writing some software for it, and I thought it'd be a good time to show everybody where I was in the process. So here it is. So here's the display, and as you can see it looks very close to what it looked like before, but notice the little N on the display. I'll talk about that in a second. So first thing I'm going to do is do a short press of the VFO knob, and it takes you to a menu. So now I can turn the knob and go from menu option to menu option. So I've got RIT in here, I've got my offset direction. So I've got mine listening for the receive offset at minus 520 hertz. So I can change it so it'll listen at plus 520 hertz instead, just by changing this menu option. In fact, I'm going to go ahead and change that. So to change a menu option, another short press, and you see the little asterisk appear. Okay, now my receive offset is on the positive side. Short press takes you back to where you can select a menu option. I'm going to turn the RIT on as well. Okay, the RIT is now on. And then just for grins, when I first got the menu going, I actually made a routine to turn the backlight on and off. I guess if you wanted to save some battery or something, it might be useful, but the display is pretty much unreadable, but I'll show it to you anyway. So again, a short press lets me change the setting. Boom, display's off. Boom, display's on. Now, if you're through with the menu, just do a long press and let go, and now you're back at the VFO. So now you can see that to the right it says R, which tells me that the RIT is on, and the P tells me I'm listening on the positive receive offset. So the RIT's on, but it hadn't been adjusted, so it's really not doing anything. So I'm going to make an adjustment now. So in order to adjust the RIT frequency, just do a long press of the knob, and now you're turning and so now I'm going to do another long press to get back to the main VFO, and then I'm going to do a short press just so you can hear the RIT being turned on and off. So I'm going to just a short press again. Okay. And again, a long press takes me back to the VFO. So originally this radio, you press the knob and it changed the tuning speed. And so I really wanted the button back. So what I've done instead is made the knob change its tuning rate based on how fast you're turning it. So rather than having to select a tuning increment, it does it on the fly. So if I turn it slow, it goes up and down 10 hertz at a time. If I turn it a little bit faster, it goes up and down 100 hertz at a time. And if I turn it a lot faster, it goes up and down a kilohertz at a time. So by doing that, I got the button back. The other thing I did was I changed this. I made an addition because I actually blew up my radio and let all the smoke out when I hooked my key up, and the shorting bar was latched. So I didn't realize it, and my rig sat there sending for a while and then went up in smoke. So I decided it might be a good thing to prevent that in the future. So I'm going to restart the rig, and I'm going to short the shorting bar again. And now I'm going to hook the power back up. Okay, still got the same greeting you used to have. But on the check, it now says error, check your key. So that tells me that my key is already shorted, which is not good. So all I have to do is unshort the shorting bar, and now everything goes back to normal and the key works. So that's what I have so far. I will be making the source code available. However, it does need some cleanup. I literally just got it working within the last week. At least some of the menu functionality. In addition, I'm probably going to look at making some changes to the RIT and also to the multiple tuning rate algorithm. So I'd like to get that done before I make it available to the world in case it requires significant changes. I'll warn you, this is nothing like the original code. It's object oriented, it's message driven. I'm using a library called Event Manager, and so all of the objects basically send messages whenever something changes, and then other objects subscribe to those messages. So for instance, when you turn the tuning knob, it sends a message saying, hey, the knob turned, and the VFO picks that up and says, and does what it needs to do to change the frequency, and then in turn sends another message saying, hey, I just changed the frequency, whoever's interested in that, and then the display picks that message up and shows you the new frequency. So it's this type of a setup. I'm using Visual Studio. I just found the Arduino in IDE was very hard to work with when you had multiple libraries. So I'm using the vMicro Arduino plugin. I'd also just like to say thank you to Jack and to Farouk and to Dennis and also everybody else who contributes to the Yahoo group. It's been a great source of information, and this building this rig has just been a lot of fun. It's been fun seeing what everybody else is doing with it. So I hope you enjoy this, and I'll try to get it out as soon as I can. Thanks, and this is Richard K4KRW. Goodbye.